Well, Richard, it's the return of the Premier League. We're going to start off with one of your former sides, Manchester City, a new man at the helm for the first time in quite a while. Enzo Maresca, how do you think they'll get on this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge shift, I suppose, from what they've had over the last decade. It's all changed at the club, losing Pep, John Stones, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, four really iconic figures at the club. So it's going to be difficult, I think. I don't think you'll get that really smooth transition and they continue to go and win trophies. I think there might be a bit of a bedding in period, and I think a successful season for City this year is to get back into the Champions League, to finish in that top 4 or 5, and sort of start to grow again from there. I think it's difficult to put an expectation that they win the league straight off the bat. I think they've got a rebuilding still going on, and yeah, a non-dramatic season I think would benefit the club and get it settled and get it ready moving forward again.
Will the appeal to players coming into Man City be slightly gone down a little bit with Pep not around? I know Enzo will probably have a lot to say about himself over the first year, but might not be the same attraction for some players?
100%. I think the best players in the world, they all wanted to work with Pep. The opportunity to work with him was sort of sealed the deal an awful lot of the time for Man City, and you can say it won't change or whatever, but it will. There's 100% it will, and they don't have that same attraction as they did for the last decade. But hopefully over a period of time, Enzo can build that, and he can build his own reputation and create the same sort of aura and energy that Pep had around the place. And in time, I'm sure players will want to come and play for Maresca.
Enzo Maresca, only one of 9 new managers coming into the season. It's crazy to even think about. You would have spent a lot of your career when new managers coming in for pre-season, for summertime. Is there a bit of a sussing out period for that as well, and almost being like, geez, are you up to this job? What's that like from a player's perspective? Because I suppose fans have a different idea in their head.
Yeah, I mean, for a player, you might have had a great season or a poor season, whatever, before, and then as soon as he comes in, you thought, right, well, I've either got to impress this fella now, or right, I've got a chance of the fella didn't like me, and now it's a thing. So it does sort of heighten the intensity in training. I think everyone, they might have little jokes and that, but you can see the intensity goes up, and everyone wants to impress, and everyone wants to be in that first 11 for the first game of the season. But likewise, I think the manager has to impress. The manager, when he comes in and he gives you that first speech, it has to be authoritative. It has to be something that gets the lads on board and makes you want to follow him. So I think both sides of it, you're looking at each other and thinking, right, I want to be part of this, or I'm not having this, he'll be gone in a few months, and all that sort of stuff. So players will suss it out, and obviously by the time the season starts this weekend, half of them will know that they're not part of his plans and stuff like that. So it becomes a little bit of a sort of fragmented dressing room. So it's important that the managers can handle that.
Last year we saw the return of set pieces being so instrumental. It's all everybody was speaking about every week, especially Arsenal. Do you think that potentially last season could have been a season that would have suited you nearly more than your playing days in the Premier League? I feel like you would have thrived at all the long throws.
To be fair, it was it was going back, and it did suit the more physical players. It didn't probably make it the most attractive Premier League season in recent years. It seemed a lot. It wasn't just Arsenal. It was a lot of teams were doing the same thing, and a lot of teams were playing to win free kicks, playing to win deep throw-ins, and all that sort of stuff. So it wasn't great, but Arsenal were very good at it and rightly came out as champions. I think already this season, and certainly throughout the World Cup, you've seen the game quickened up a little bit. I think it was the Champions League final actually, when Arsenal got that corner at half time and the referee just blew his whistle because he was taking too long. So I liked all that sort of stuff. So hopefully this season's a little bit more free flowing, a bit higher intensity football, and Arsenal showed in the Community Shield at the weekend that they can do that as well. So yeah, hopefully a better season ahead.
Another former side of yours, Aston Villa, European silverware last year. How high is the ceiling under Unai Emery?
I think that it's a financial ceiling is the problem. I would have thought that if they added 2 or 3 to what they already had, they were the Arsenal's biggest title challengers this season. But unfortunately, they've lost 2 or 3, and they've not added enough. So I think it's another tough season for Emery. I'm sure he'll be successful because I personally, I think him and Arteta are the two best managers in the league. So I think if he had been given the right tools, he really could have pushed Villa towards a title challenge, but probably not. And I think more success in the Champions League would be great. And they're going to be fighting for that top 5, but to do Champions League and get Champions League football again for the following season is going to be a tough ask without strengthening the squad.
Your former teammates, Keith Andrews, Damien Duff, now in the backroom staff as well. What a first season we saw Keith have. Everybody back in Brentford to go down after Thomas Frank left. It's been pretty much the opposite of that. Queeveen involved, Nathan Collins playing such big roles in that side. They seem to be every Irish person's second favourite team.
Yeah, that was brilliant for Keith last year. They were one of the teams, I suppose, benefited from the league being a little bit more set piece orientated. They worked on it really well. Keith had come from that sort of background as well, so it was an ideal season for them last year, and they flourished. They were really, really impressive. I think this year they're going to have to add a couple of little things, and that's probably where Damien will come in. That little bit of flair and attacking idea will probably come from Damien a little bit more. But Brentford is such a real, well-structured and well-run club that you don't see any troubles ahead for them. I think they'll continue to grow, and if they can get, I suppose, an improvement on what they done last year and get into Europe for this following season, it'll again be a huge success for them.
Ireland's prodigal son, Troy Parrott, looks like Real Betis confirmed for around €20 million. Good move for him. He was being linked with a move to West Ham. There probably hasn't been a great track record of number 9 succeeding at West Ham over the last couple of decades. A good move for him to La Liga?
I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's a really brave move for him. He obviously had that opportunity to maybe drop back into a comfort zone in London, play in a league that he would recognise and understand the language, but he's taken the harder challenge and gone to a new league, a new language, and it will help him improve as a player. He will get better. He's a player that probably works off the street smarts. He understands the game. He reads players. He reads situations, and going and playing in a new league and understanding and learning a new sort of tactical style of play against, well, certainly two of the biggest clubs in the world and probably the second best league in the world. I think it can only benefit him, and I think it'll benefit Ireland in the long run. Richard
Dunne, I have a couple of quick-fire games for you. So the first one is, would prime Richard Dunne start for these current Premier League teams? Coventry City.
Yeah.
Leeds United.
Yeah, I'm saying these, but I don't know who their centre-halves are.
So Leeds United, Joe Rodon and Moharamovic. I think you'd start for them, yeah. Fulham.
Yeah.
Everton.
Yeah.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I watched Newcastle last week, so yeah.
Spurs.
I'd get enough games. Yeah.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And Manchester City.
Wouldn't be too far away at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of games for you to play there.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. He's got a good B team as well. So
that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next up, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions from your career. The toughest striker you ever faced?
I think it's Henry. Probably Henry. I think he was just quick as that, and then he had a team of unbelievable footballers behind them, so he would make runs that you think, well, that's a stupid run, but then it would be a stupid pass and it would find them and it would be away. So I think Henry.
Your most underrated teammate?
I think, I don't know, maybe James Collins when I was at Aston Villa. I know he's well loved by the West Ham fans, but I thought he was brilliant when he was at Aston Villa. The two of us formed a partnership, and probably to go alongside him, I would say Sylvain Distin, who never got a French cap and probably should have. He was an outstanding player, and for partnerships and stuff like that, them two players probably suited me the best, but they were both on their own very, very good players.
James Collins tells a brilliant story about Martin O'Neill signing the two of you. And did you ask something about what should we do at set piece of corners? And he said,
just
head the fucking
head,
thing.
yeah, just fucking head it. It was that was because I think James, I don't know whether James or we both signed a couple of days and then gone away on internationals and came back the day before, and we were in the dressing room and just said like, are we marking or what? And James asked him then, and he's just fucking head it. So he said that's why I signed you. So that was it. It sounds simple and fucking basic, but it's what football is sometimes, isn't it? You know what I mean? You just go and do your job, and your job is to head it. Go and head it.
Funniest teammate?
Quite a few, I suppose, down the years. Probably Kevin Horlock when I first signed for City was a good crack. Probably didn't do himself justice, but Ben Thatcher was a really good teammate, but obviously done a few mad things off the pitch which probably overstepped the mark. But yeah, it was there's loads of different characters, and yeah, it's like I can't remember. Probably them two are the two most likely to do anything.
Just finally, the most hostile away ground?
I didn't find any grounds hostile. I always enjoyed them, and it was just an atmosphere, and it was like the more hostile, the better the atmosphere. I always found. I think I'm trying to think where if there's anywhere internationally that we've played that was.
Moscow was grand, wasn't it?
Moscow was grand. It can be hostile, but it's so far away from the pitch that you don't recognise. I actually went when we played Iran in the World Cup qualifier. We won 2-0 in Dublin, and then we went away, and I wasn't sub, so I was sat in with the crowd, and they'd been in there since 6 a.m. or something praying for a 9 o'clock kickoff. So it was crazy in there, and it was like I think they scored towards the end, and we got ushered out as quick as we possibly could because it was going to get even more hostile. Yeah,
we saw that. I suppose when people think of that match now, they probably think of the movie Saipan. Was the parties after that, was it accurate in the film?
I didn't see the film.
No. Did you not watch it?
No, it's mad because like when you're involved in it, it's not a story. It's nothing much. It's something that happened. Somebody got angry and went home, and that was it. And but it's a story that's lasted for 25 years, and I've heard there's been a bit of artistic license lended to it and stuff like that. So I think I spoke to Kenny Cunningham, and he'd watched it, and he said it was shite. So take his word.
There you go. No need for Rotten Tomatoes. Just Kenny Cunningham. It's shite. Yeah,
that's it.
Richard Dunne, thank you very much.
Nice one. Thank you.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
No problem.